When Thor came back to Earth, his first act was to rebuild Asgard, right smack in the middle of Texas. The local authorities weren't exactly thrilled. They told him to move it, so Thor simply lifted the entire city several feet above the ground, scaring them into silence. That night he sat upon his throne, feeling the weight of solitude. Without his people, even a god felt hollow. The next morning, the farmer who actually owned the land stormed in, demanding Thor leave. Instead, Thor took him to Asgard's vault and offered him an impossible deal: gold worth billions. The man accepted without hesitation. Soon after, Thor flew to the abandoned streets of New Orleans. There, waiting for him, was Tony Stark. Tony greeted him warmly, saying it was good to have him back. Thor didn't answer. Instead, he listened as Tony reminded him of their friendship before warning that planting Asgard in Texas was a political disaster waiting to happen. He claimed the government might seize the city, or worse, deport Thor entirely. Lightning began crackling across the sky. Thor's voice rumbled as he accused Tony of betraying his allies, hunting down the Avengers, imprisoning anyone who resisted, and even using Thor's own DNA to create an abomination. "You are no friend of mine," he declared. Before Tony could react, Thor swung Mjolnir and sent him crashing through the air. Tony groaned, saying he had hoped to settle things peacefully, but could always apologize later. He powered up his suit to full capacity and unleashed everything he had. The blast hit Thor dead on and did absolutely nothing. Iron Man fired again, closing the distance, but Thor simply deflected the attack and hurled him aside like a rag doll. Tony staggered to his feet, half joking that Thor must have upgraded. Thor replied coldly, "I've just stopped holding back." In a flash, a storm erupted above. Bolts of lightning tore through the sky, overloading Tony's armor and frying every circuit. Thor grabbed him by the neck, ripped off his helmet, and glared down at the terrified man inside. "You're just a mortal hiding behind metal," he said. "I am the god of thunder." Thor dropped him to the ground, adding one final warning: if any human dared set foot in Asgard uninvited, they'd see what real power looked like. Beaten and desperate, Tony offered a compromise. Asgard would be recognized as its own nation, with Thor granted full diplomatic immunity. Thor accepted and turned to leave. As Tony's armor sparked uselessly, he muttered that he couldn't make it back to base. Without turning around, Thor said one word: "Walk." Then he vanished into the storm.